So I'm here with Barabara Luna. Hi, thanks for doing this. You just told me this very interesting story about Jimmy Stewart. Can you please pass that along? That's too good to pass up.
Well, as we were situating ourselves, you wanted to be on this side, and I said, no, I have to be on this side. And I was faced with this once before. I did a film with an actor by the name of Jimmy Stewart, and it was a Western called Fire Creek. The other actor was Henry Fonda. At any rate, in Jimmy Stewart's contract, it says that he can only be shot on the left side of his face, and he showed me a photo. He took a photo of half of the right side of his face and he put it together, and it looked like a whole different person. So, of course, with you I can say I must be on this side. With him I couldn't say that because it was in his contract, and it was Jimmy Stewart. Hello.
Of course, can't argue with him. Now let's go back. One of the shows that I actually watched as a kid and I was fascinated with was Zorro. And you did several episodes on Zorro. Could you tell us a little bit about that and what it was like to be on set with the masked hero?
You know, doing Zorro was so much fun. First of all, to do Zorro, I had to audition, like Broadway, which was like a piece of cake for me because I was a Broadway baby. I don't know if you've read my bio. Yeah, so you know that I was raised on Broadway. And so when they said, would you audition for us? Would you sing and dance? I was like, oh, of course I will. Sure, of course. So I got to sing, I got to dance, I got to ride horses. Oh, I got to kiss and hug Guy Williams. And what was funny is that Guy Williams was quite tall, perhaps 6'4", 6'3", 6'4". And because of the character I was playing, no high heels in flats, so I had to just keep jumping up on him, keep jumping, which was quite wonderful. It was a great job.
Now,
and, yeah?
Oh, no, keep going.
Sorry. Oh, and he was a very sweet man. Very unassuming, because I was warned when I was leaving New York City, oh boy, wait till you get to Hollywood with those actor types. They're going to be all over you like a cheap suit, that kind of thing. Yeah. And he was so, I was like, what's wrong with this guy? I'm supposed to be insulted because he's not flirting with me? Yeah, good guy. And willing to rehearse a lot because he knew I was kind of new to TV.
Now, can I throw a few, let's say, rapid fire about some of the celebrities you may have worked with in the past?
Okay, go.
Frank Sinatra.
What about him?
Whatever you want. Tell us something quick about him.
Oh my gosh, he was such a wonderful cook. Well, first of all, when I heard I was going to be working with Frank Sinatra, I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I am engaged to an actor named Doug McClure, and we knew about Mr. Sinatra's reputation, and I thought, okay, how am I going to handle this? We're going to Hawaii. I'm flying there by myself. So I get to Hawaii, and Dougie, as I used to call him, comes to Hawaii. They fall in love, and I disappear. I become invisible. I'm like, hello. But he was wonderful. Sinatra would cook for us. His mom's recipe, so he made a wonderful sauce. You know, he's Italian,
of course,
yeah. So it was as an actress, quite challenging because it's a kind of a known fact that Mr. Sinatra does not rehearse. Comes out of his trailer and he hits his mark and you go. Thankfully, I have always been good with dialogue. In fact, that's how I got through school. I think they called it a photographic memory. Yeah. So it was no problem for me because the one thing I did not ever want to do is go up on lines. So it was great working with him.
Peter Lorre.
Oh my gosh, I drove him crazy. Peter Lorre, of course, we know he was an actor in the 30s. And I always wanted to be in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, and I missed it. But when we were doing a movie called 5 Weeks in a Balloon, every morning in makeup I would run. And plus, my grandmother's from Budapest. Okay. I have this kind of funny mixed-up face, which thankfully gave me a wonderful career because when I went to Hollywood, you couldn't really pin down my look. So I played everything Hispanic, Japanese, Chinese, Hawaiian, Indian, and so on. So when he found out that I was Hungarian, he just sort of loved me a lot because every morning I would run up to him because I knew he'd have a gazillion stories about Hollywood. So he was so fascinating. And he would just tell me these stories.
My friend. And maybe to wrap up, let's go with one of your favorite films, maybe a film that's influenced you or a film that you've just always loved.
My favorite film that I worked in, you mean? Or
Not necessarily, just one of your favorite films that you've seen.
Oh, in other words, if I were to go to a desert island, what film would I take with me?
Gilligan's Island.
No, close. No, I'll tell you, it would have to be Singing in the Rain.
Oh.
I wanted to be Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah.
I wanted to sing and dance, and yeah, it would be Singing in the Rain.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
It was great.